shepherd. I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. And I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever and ever. And ever. And ever. I regret that due to circumstances over which there is no control, the 7 o'clock discussion group will not be held this evening. As a background for our thinking together on the quest for stability, may I read several lines from a selection written in 1947 by Donald Babcock as it appeared in the New Yorker. Now we are ready to look at something pretty special. It is a duck riding the ocean 100 feet beyond the surf. No, it isn't a gull. A gull always has a raucous touch about him. This is some sort of duck, and he cuddles in the swells. He isn't cold, and he is thinking things over. There is a big heaving in the Atlantic, and he is part of it. He looks a bit like a mandarin or the Lord Buddha meditating under the bo tree. But he has hardly enough above the eyes to be a philosopher. He has poise, however, which is what a philosopher must have. He can rest while the Atlantic heaves, because he rests in the Atlantic. Probably he doesn't know how large the ocean is, and neither do you. But he realizes it. And what does he do, I ask you? He sits down in it. He reposes in the immediate, as if it were infinity, which it is. That is religion, and the duck has it. He has made himself part of the boundless, by easing himself into it, the boundless, just where it, the boundless, touches him. The people of the Middle Ages were more like this duck than we are. They took life as it presented itself and ran it up in spires of Gothic. They crossed few oceans, but they floated on the sea of time. And a cat is more like this duck than we are. We can radio to the moon and get back a pip for an answer. But a cat can make a hearthrug, a haven in the infinite, or launch 4 kittens into life in a cracker box by the furnace, purring with pride because she has tuned in on cosmic waves. I like the little duck. He doesn't know much, but he has religion. The quest for stability a person may be said to have stability when he seems to himself to possess that which to him is most significant and most worthful. A person who possesses what to him is most significant and worthful has personal stability. Now, when a person is cut off from that which to him is most worthful and most significant, he is rendered unstable. Now, if my personal stability, or if that which is to me most significant, which thing I possess, is limited, is episodic, is dedicated to the insecurity of others, then even within the context of my stability, I am fundamentally, emotionally insecure. But if my personal stability is somehow rooted and grounded in the stability of history of my age, not chronological, or life itself, then, and it always comes back to something that is within, doesn't it? As the old Hindu medieval mystic writes about it, you say that a fish in the water is thirsty. Do you seek the real, the true? Go where you will, from Benares to Mathura. If you have not found your own soul, the world is unreal to you. Now there's a second suggestion. Personal stability is possible when the individual is able to sense, to feel his way into other people's needs, other people's predicaments, other people's issues, thinking of issues in a comprehensive sense, not in a conceptual sense. The line that the Apostle Paul uses illustrative of this idea, my prayer to God is that your love may grow more and more rich in knowledge and in all manner of insight, that you may have a feel for what is vital, that you may be transparent and of no harm to anyone, your life covered with that harvest of righteousness that Jesus produces to the praise and the glory of God. This dimension of your personality so developed that you sense the other person, and thereby you become a sharer in more and more significant experiences of unity, which experiences of unity become more and more compelling for you than the things that separate you from each other. This ability to sense the feelings, the predicament, the need of another person, and to let that relatedness, that sense of relatedness, become your tutor in developing all kinds of practical relations by which at the level of rank, of function, you multiply the context so that what you experience in the traffic of your relatedness is identical with that which you sense in this overtone from the other person's personality. It is a tremendous thing. It is this subtle understanding of what is involved here that causes men who wish to dominate and to control their fellows to see to it very skillfully that they be given no opportunity to develop this overtone relation and thereby feel under no compulsion to multiply the context. The strength of the control of one mind over many minds is inherent in the fact of the isolation that the controlled minds feel from all other minds, so that the only outlet of livingness for the controlled minds is the controller of the mind. So that when you see walls, whether they are walls of faith, whether they are walls of diet, whether they are walls of concepts, or of Satan's set behavior patterns, wherever you see walls dividing, isolating people, know that those who stand either inside the walls or outside of the walls are involved in that which fundamentally makes for instability, because if I am free to multiply experiences of unity with peoples tutored by this sense of their meaning, then there is no wall of whatever nature can abide. Now, first then, I must have personal morale if I am to be stable. And morale means belief in one's cause. I must believe in my enterprise. It may not be the best one. It may not be altogether a good one. I don't know. I won't pass a judgment at this point. But I must believe in my enterprise. I must affirm my thing. And then second, I must relate to my fellows, whether they are those of my family or those of my classmates or my parents or my friends, whoever they may be. I must relate to them, first of all, in terms of feeling my way into their predicament, so that as I look steadily into their face, finally, I see my own face. And if I keep looking, I see God's face. So that then which becomes for me the personal grounds of my own stability, namely that my life meets the approval of the ultimate, the approval of God, as Jesus expressed it, or heard it expressed to him, "Thou art my son, my beloved, in thee I'm well pleased." The ultimate sanction. The ultimate sanction of my life becomes one with the discovery that I make about the meaning of my life in communion. And therefore, the closer I become committed to the God of my experience, the more bound I become to you and your experience. And one feeds the other. And therefore, at last, I can find no stability for myself that is built upon your instability. For better or for worse, at last, I cannot appear before God if your hand is not in my hands. This is the ultimate ground of my stability. Drop by still dews of quietness, till all striving cease. Take from our souls the strain and distress, and let our ordered lives confess the beauty of thy peace. Walk beside us, O God, our Father, and be in us and amongst us as we go forth from this place with our hopes renewed and our purposes more fully defined, that tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow we may do that which is pleasing in thy sight. O God, our Father.